whole sort of idea is going to be lighting up Pearl, and I'm going to explain that, obviously. So some of the first impressions of my project, which I'll explain, is to be engaging, exciting, and interactive. So kind of that alliteration, that's what I want people to see when they first see my project. So, some of my background to get you guys into what I'm going to. I'm an environmental design major, so I work a lot with buildings, places, that sort of thing, so I'm interested in that. And I personally am very obsessed with maps. That might seem weird to you, because from my quote, most people think maps are boring, because I understand they kind of are, just a lot of lines, grids, and we don't use paper maps anymore, we use our iPhones, which is a blessing. But it's kind of sad, I think, that maps are being outdated. And I kind of was thinking, how can I, since I love maps so much, reimagine a map so that users can like interact with it, and it's something more integrated into like their lives, that sort of thing. What I want is to begin my study of how to make spaces better for people and how to engage them in new ways. So those are kind of the two goals I want my design to tackle. So the function of the design, get into the full thing. So when I grow up for my career, I want to work in like museums or that sort of space. Just like what Natalie was talking about on the last lecture, how she was noticing in like museums why people go to certain exhibits, like if they can hear it, if they can touch it, interact. So I'm really interested in that. So I kind of see my design as like honestly a prototype for something I would install when I got a job, if I could install it like in somewhere. So it's kind of the like first step of that. So I'm working on Pearl Street. I think it's a really great hub, and I want to design a map of just like the general Pearl Street. Everyone kind of knows it, but I think it would be a big tourist attraction for me, what I'm trying to get at. So I want to create a 3D printed map, so it's already jumping off the page. It's not a flat sort of map. And then there'll be different buttons, and when you push the buttons, it'll light up different places on Pearl, so that you're like, okay, I want to know where all the eating spots are on Pearl. You push the green button, and all the buildings that are eating places light up. And I just think it's a cool way to like examine spaces, analyze it for people that want to know more about Pearl in general, and how people are moving about the space. And it's just kind of fun to like watch Pearl light up and make it interactive and exciting. I mean, and Pearl's already a really great place to be. I can see it as like a central hub that people want to go to. Just another addition to Pearl Street. So I was thinking about my form and my aesthetic or concept, and I was thinking, oh, boulder. The concept is boulder, but I was like, that seems really generic. So kind of the juxtaposition. I was thinking of what boulder really is for people, and I think it's Pearl Street. We have all of the infrastructure, but then there's the Boulder Creek. There's campus, and there's the Flatirons. So it's this like juxtaposition and integration of nature and like the city kind of coming together. So I want to integrate that in my design, kind of brainstorming that right now, how that would look in its physical form. So this was my inspiration, just to give you a better visual for what I'm brainstorming. So this is New York City. So I made this huge, massive 3D printed map, which mine will not be that large. I don't have the money or time, but kind of the idea. And this one's cool. It like lights up and glows. It you don't press buttons, but it's just like a table, and it's like a huge nightlight, that sort of thing. So kind of giving you a visual of what I'm looking toward in my design. Are there any questions? Yes.
What's your plan for the lighting source, like an LED strip?
Yeah, different colored LEDs. And that's definitely my biggest challenge, coming from an environmental design background, going into like engineering and circuits. So, yeah.
So is this like going to be like a flat table like this, or your first prototype that you're doing? Is it
Right.
like a table, or is it going to be like on like a wall and you like, it's like a nice
That's a great question, because I was thinking about that, and for the form, what would work best, because I don't want to arbitrarily be like, oh, it'll be just like this, because that's what I've seen, that's how it works. Is it better for people to walk up and see something vertical, or is it better to have a table? So I'm kind of throwing around both ideas. I think with the 3D printed aspect, it might be cooler to have it more flat, so you can kind of look in on the streets rather than up. It might be like disorienting, but just throwing around ideas.
Oh, could you have it be like angled as opposed to, so it's kind of like the happy medium between like,
Like
flat
tilted?
on a table. Exactly.
Oh, that'd
yeah.
be cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm envisioning it almost like an artist's table or like a
Mhm.
drafting
A drafting
table.
board?
Yeah.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that might be like marrying the two like concepts between just having like a
Mhm.
flat table where you have to look like down over the city and
Right.
looking like flat out like
Right.
on just
Oh, I like that.
a
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks. Got some good ideas from this. Thanks, guys.